What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode here at Tremblers. Today, we're in the shop, dude. We're not working in the backyard of my house. Shout out to Jesse and Mr. Johnny Dang for pulling up for help. But this is Jesse's shop up here in Hesperia. It is Long Beach Performance Off-Road. So if you ever need anything, we did drop a episode last week, a podcast, and he talks about his story, talks about everything that he does, plus all the other hustles that he does. But today, we are going to give you an update on the portals, see the situation up front. We're also going to be putting some RCVs in it, putting tie rods on it, just to kind of get it all set and dialed for Rubicon and Fordyce. My tie rods are good now, CVs are fine, but we do have RCVs that we got secondhand from one of our buddies, so we're gonna throw those in, dial in the front end, and then we'll go from here. We'll go to Gus at All Terrain for an alignment, put fender liners. I also do have those, so right now she's bare naked. You can see all her guts, but we're gonna go ahead and start working on this front end, drain the box to see if there's any shavings in it, and then I also have the extended hoses now so that would prevent anything from leaking, and we'll route all that stuff out. And then I'll also give you some of the pros and cons that I've experienced now that I wheeled it, now that I've driven it, and then now since my Gladiator is broken, I'm putting a lot more miles on it. So I'll give you details of everything that it's been doing, how it acts up, what it doesn't do, what it does do, and then surprisingly how good the miles per gallon are. So it is on 39s or 38, cheater 38, and the setup is pretty much the same for the exception of new arms, portals, 38s, and we're going to go do the same trails we did last year, so it should outperform it from the 35s. But we're going to dive right in. We're going to lift this up, take the tires off, and start digging into it. Here we go. Look, Johnny brought the ladder to match the rack, dude. So the trail rack is back on, by the way. I mean, we're going to be loading up our chairs and our tent up there, so that way everything fits on the inside. And then I'll also show you the platform that I built in here. Liners are in there, but I did a flat panel here, and then I also did a bed for Scotty up top. It's all made out of cabinet, like pretty nice wood, and it's nice and strong and light. And then I just stained this one, and then I put bed liner on the back, on the bottom piece. But it ended up working out. I can fit a lot more things on here now that it's flat. And I bought some containers and crates that fit on the exact like measurement of the whole thing, so that way you can fit everything correctly. But there she is. But yeah, we'll lift her up, start on the portals, and then I'll give you kind of details. I'll give you reviews on everything that the truck has, including the wrap, some of the bumpers and stuff that I've put on it. Because I really haven't talked about them ever since they've been on it. It's been kind of a crunch to get all these things done. But we're here. We're gonna dive in. Actually, we're gonna have breakfast first. All right, team. So the tires are off now. Yeah, the front one still had some residual from some of the stuff that we did leak for the first time. But again, the fix was just extending these lines, so that's what we did now. So we're gonna service the box, empty it all out, check if there's anything wrong with it, which there shouldn't be. And then we're going to replace the CVs, check tie rods. If those need to be replaced, we'll replace them. We do have 4 performance ones, so we're going to hold and knock that out. We already drained the back ones. They were fine. Now we're doing the front ones. I see a little bit of residual there. Nothing crazy, though. And then obviously there is no liners yet. We do have them on deck, so we're going to make sure we put those on because anything can get chipped up or get caught in between here, and it really could ruin some shit. They are draining them now. Hey, that one had a lot more. Yeah. It's good. All right, team, so as we dig in, I'm going to be giving you the 3 pros and cons of each, what I thought so far of the boxes. Number 1, for sure, is having to service CVs. If you do break a CV on the trail, the one bad thing about these compared to some of the other ones that are out on the market is you do have to split the box. So let's just say you broke a CV on an obstacle. Yeah, you'll still be able to remove the CV probably without having to do anything to the box. But if you wanted to get that CV back in and put your extra one in, you would have to split the box, drain it, and then unbolt it, and then get the CV out, put the new one in, and get it all done. This should be a lot stronger, and this is why I'm opting to go with RCV, so that way I don't have this issue. That is one of the big down parts of having this box compared to the other ones. As the other ones have a little window, you can service it through the window and just pop the CV out, and you don't have to take the liquid out of it. So with the oil coming out, if you are working somewhere where it's dirty, things could happen, shit gets nasty, and I mean, you could get out of it in a pinch anyways, but you would have to probably service it again when you get home. And it is a little bit pain in the butt. So we're gonna do that right now though. Everything does have to come off. We're gonna take these braces off, caliper, brackets, everything comes out. We do have all the big sockets that we need. And then we'll take that out, and then I'll continue to tell you more about it. I'll give you guys one of the positive things is obviously the gearing reduction. So the gear reduction is 33% over stock, which helps you out significantly because then you don't have to re-gear for a bigger tire. You don't have to worry about loss in power, and your miles per gallon, my actual miles per gallon went up from even factory. So when I had factory 35s, I was getting about 15, 16 on the freeway, highway, and wheeling. And now I've put about about 3,000 miles on the whole setup with portals, and it's actually giving me 17.5. So I checked it yesterday. That's what it was running. The gearing reduction, I'm at like 6 point something. I'm not really sure. You guys can go back to the first part when we installed it. I broke down all the science and numbers and all of that if you're really interested in it. And this is not even the Sasquatch. So I was at 456, I believe, and then 33% on top of that. That is one of the big pluses of having a portal box. Again, I'm going to give you 3 of each. That's 1 and 1. And as we break them down, we'll talk some more. Johnny Dane's going on this side, tearing some stuff apart already. Johnny Dane, what's first, dude?
Yo, what up? So, take out the brake calipers, rotor, and split this box.
So there's no difference like between doing non-portals to this, right? It's the same to do a CV?
For the most part, I mean, the one extra step is just taking the box apart.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be exactly the same. You take the nut off, just putting the rest of the CV in, and then pop it through both the axle and the...
Yeah, so nothing changes. Like you said, you're going to have to remove uppers, tie rods, the same exact thing. The only thing is, if you are going to be switching out the CV, like I told you guys before, you do have to split the box to get it out. We want to do it for science anyways. We want to check if the gears are all okay. We don't do it as much as our boy Limitless. He does it every week for some reason. We're going to go ahead and split it, take these stock CVs out, check them, because these are the stock ones that we've had on here basically for 40,000 miles. And then we'll put some RCVs in there. Hopefully, the RCVs will just never break and I'll never have to split these boxes again. All we have to do is drain and fill them and we're golden. I do have performance tie rods, so I'll show you guys the differences between the Ford Performance one and then the stock one also, so you guys can see that. But there she is, man, in all her glory. We're gonna start ripping this thing apart and then we'll get back to you with the second pro and con. All right, so one thing that we forgot to mention, and it's very, very important, anytime you touch brakes, Johnny Thing's in the truck right now, you gotta put this thing in brake service mode so that way you can remove calipers and not mess with any of the system. So it's a pretty common thing for a Bronco. It is gross, I hate everything about it, but with ABS, all the technology this thing has, it's another step that you gotta do. So Johnny Dang is doing that right now. You can hear the brakes doing their thing. And then we'll dive in. All right, Johnny Dang's got the first one split open already. Honestly, it's a 15-20 minute process taking everything off. Everything's just normal. You just gotta make sure you have stuff ready to clean it up and drain it all into, because it will drain for a little bit because it's all wet inside. But once you open it up, we'll check the gears, see if everything's still good there, and then we'll take the CVs out and put the new CVs in. Alrighty, squad, so this is the part that I was talking about. So on the other portal boxes, it has a little window, but you don't have to worry about it, but with these, you don't. So this is on the inside, it goes right here, and you have to actually remove that so you can pop the CV out. Again, you have to remove the box before you can get to that. So yeah, there it is. Just wanted to show you guys in detail. If you want more details of this whole box being put together and all the sizes and science behind it, go check out the video where we open them up, break them down, and compare them to the 74 well portals. But for now, we're gonna pull this out, get the CV in, and get it popping. Alrighty, team, so the RCV is in, and we are actually putting it all back together. So the next big con for us is the maintenance. The maintenance behind them, it's basically you're doing oil changes on 4 wheels and your truck when you do the service. It's just one of those things to maintain the gears, maintain your oil fresh. That's what they recommend, is every 3,000 miles. It is a very small box and it only holds, I think, like 3/4 of a quart. So you gotta make sure you service them. So it could be a pain in the butt. I mean, these are the easiest ones on the market. It actually lets you get to the drain, so that's pretty nice. The 74 wells that we had with the Bronco rims, we had to actually remove the rim and tire to be able to reach the drain, and then it didn't really have a fill. So it was a lot trickier to do than this, unless you broke something drastically or, you know, again, CV issue or something like that. But once this is all sealed and done, you should only have to drain and fill it. But it is another service thing you have to do at 3,000 miles. And to follow that up with another pro is obviously the lift and stance that you get, right? So you're gonna have a ton of clearance underneath. The Werewolf ones do give you a 5.5-inch lift. I think some of the other ones were about 4-ish. This one was 5.5. Again, you can go watch the video that has all the details, and one of my other videos that we recorded when we did the unboxing, installed them and everything. But obviously the lift and clearance it gives you is significantly better. I mean, we loaded this up with brand new sliders, brand new skids, brand new everything, and the Talon skids haven't been touched yet as much as they would have been already with the trails that we've done. Right now they have a couple scrapes, but I do have a ton of clearance underneath now, so things that I used to scrub to get up and then crawl up and over, now I don't even touch, which is really, really nice, because then now you're not getting hung up as many places. So yeah, that's number 2. Again, service and obviously clearance. The third one is my favorite one, and I'll tell you guys about it here shortly. But we're gonna finish off that side and then come on to this side and finish this side up. Alrighty, squad, so both sides are now on our CVs. Ford Performance tie rods, portals, everything's back together. New fresh oil is in there. Now we're working on the exhaust. So Jesse's down here tearing it up. So because we triangulated the back, no exhaust is out there on the market that compensates for the extra flex. So if you had your canister back here, it was hitting in this section right here. So we are fixing that with a straight dump. And I had one that I kind of like wired up myself, but it was honestly really corny and it wasn't pointing correctly. So Jesse's gonna come over here and we're gonna cut up the AWE. The AWE exhaust was pretty dope. All to like got triangulated. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna cut that off and then move it to the other side. And that way it's dumping basically right before the axle. So anybody that's getting triangulated, think about that because it's something that nobody's talked about and I totally forgot to mention it, but that is something you'll have to do. You'll have to modify your exhaust. So it dumps right here. So it dumps right before the axle. That is one big piece of it. We're gonna finish up putting everything back together. I will do a walk around the truck, talk about some of the parts that are on here like I mentioned at the beginning, and then we'll give you the third and final pro and con of the portal axles, and we'll close out the video with everything else that's on it. I know this video's kind of been everywhere, but it is part of life. This is how we work. We're just all over the place. We're just lost. But right now we are just checking bolts, checking everything, make sure that nothing's coming off because we noticed we lost a couple bolts on the skids. So we're filling them in right now. Jesse's working on the exhaust, and then we're gonna try to get these liners on, and that'll be a wrap. I'll have to do the back ones at home, but these front ones really are the ones that have everything exposed, and we wanna make sure we protect all that stuff. So we'll get in here, knock that out. But shout out to Jesse, shout out to Johnny Dan for coming through. But yeah, look how nice it looks. The orange boots, Ford Performance tie rods, portals, just money, dude, just money. Obviously, the eagle, because freedom, that's why. And yeah, here we go. Alrighty squad, so we're trying to get the liners in now. I just rerouted all the breather hoses and looped them and got all that cleaned up. You can see the liners fitting in. Shout out to Fiberworks, dude. Their setup is pretty nice. Usually it's a headache to work with fiberglass, but the fender liners are fitting in. They're really dirty right now, but we're gonna clean them up. Johnny Dang is working on the other side. And yeah, we just gotta go get some fasteners to get the bolts in here instead of putting just those plastic plugs. But dude, look at that. Nice and clean, covers it all the way across. It's very nice. This kit is very, very nice. Alrighty squad, so everything is complete now. Fender liners up front are done, CVs, tie rods, put the tires back on, and it looks a lot nicer with the fenders and the liners in place. So that's the front, and honestly, for being fiberglass, you usually go through headaches. These ones fit in quite nicely, right guys? They weren't too bad. We did have to cut quite a bit, but they were just like, because we wanted to get them almost perfect in there. And then a couple little dabs, and hey, it's pretty much holding where it's gonna be. We are gonna probably put a rock light in here, but other than that, this is all set up. The rear still needs fender liners up here. I have them at home. I wasn't planning for us to be done so quickly, so I'll have to cut and put these in myself. We did service the back portals as well. As for the portals, there was no metal shavings. They did have a little less oil than I would want them to, but that's only because my drain plugs were leaking because I didn't have enough hose. But as you can see, there's plenty of hose now. Hose for everybody. Up front and in the back, we modified everything, put a little more hoses, basically what Werewolf told us to do, so the breathers should be okay. So now the breathers, any leaking should be completely done for, but we will see. So I'm gonna drive this home. It is 105 outside, and it's about, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 miles. So if it's gonna leak on the way home because we just filled the boxes and everything is good there. Now, as a breakdown for the truck real quick, I'm gonna go over some of the parts, things that we've used already. And these parts have been on the truck for at least a year. So first and foremost, I have their sliders, their rear bumper, and their rear tire delete. And honestly, I think these are some of the better looking pieces that are out there for the Bronco, especially the bumper. This is not a super strong bash it into rocks bumper because this is the lightweight one, but they do have one that's similar, but this one has the best clearance. It's so minimal here, the frame is actually below it, so it's really, really nice. It's nice and clean and tucked away. That's what I wanted. With the clearance of the portals, I don't foresee myself smacking it too much. I did touch it there a little bit, but it didn't fold or anything, so that was fine. And obviously the delete is super awesome. I do have the Vision X pods. I also do have their flag holder, which is also really, really nice. You can put a flag, you can put an antenna, you can put some lights if you want to. We also have the air compressor from Tire Flate. It's all plumbed on the inside, so I'll show you some of the inside afterwards when we get it down from the rack, but you can see that that's been done. The rear, this is a triangulated setup from Rockcrawler, so the setup is right there. It is all trussed up and looking fancy, dude. Ford Performance diff cover. The diff cover kind of sucks, honestly. The paint is chipping really, really nasty already, and it really hasn't hit anything, so Most of these diff covers, usually you get them powder coated and they last quite a bit without any issues, but this one hasn't even been smacked into a rock and it's already chipping, so that kind of sucks. But the diff cover does look nice. I also have the Sumos. I tell everybody with the Bronco, go buy some of those because it changes the ride. It's so much nicer. Even though our coilovers have internal bump stops, these are extra and it helps a ton. And obviously we got the Radflow coilovers, 2.5s front and back with remote resis and full adjusters, the whole 9 yards. That's all there. Werewolf portals, all the control arms are from Rock Crawler as well. So that's the full rear setup. We also have the AWE exhaust. Nothing has been done to the drive shaft. I know there is an Adams out there that you can do to swap that out, so we'll probably do that, but right now ours is okay. It has a couple little scratches and whatnot, but other than AWE, everything in the back is pretty much complete. And you can see, dude, look at this guy just interrupting, dude. I'm mid killing it right now, dude. Dude, hey, your shorts ain't low enough, dude.
You need a bump? You want
there you go, dude. So I'm gonna get back to it. All right, squad, so now that Mr. Brown Pants already interrupted the whole thing, but we're gonna get back in here.
For you.
Yeah, so the front is also Rock Crawler, so we have the Rock Crawler arms, coilovers from Radflow, like I said before. 4 performance tie rods, RCVs. This whole system, we put basically 2 or 3 big trips of wheeling on it. And with the portals, honestly, it's eating everything up. There is some adjustments still that I want to do. We are going to modify the tower and get like 2 or 3 more inches up to get a little bit more shock, get a more up travel, and make it ride a little bit better. The front, the skid package is all from Talon. So you can see it goes all the way down the belly and up and across. It is all aluminum. It's done really well. We destroyed a whole kit during the trifecta last year, but this kit's been on basically right after. We just wanted to clean it up so that way the Bronco could be complete. And in the engine bay, we do have an AFE cooler right there. So the AFE intake, it helps the truck sound a little bit better. Obviously it breathes a little easier. But other than that, I mean, performance-wise, you don't get a ton of power out of it. It's just one of those things on turbo cars, it does help it. And then obviously we have the trail racks up top with the diode lights on the side, trail racks all the way down. It is only a half rack. We only use it basically to carry chairs, our tent, and everything of that nature. We do have the Widow ladder, of course. That's the ultimate upgrade if you do have a rack and you overland the hell out of your rig like I do. And then obviously pods and whatnot. And then as for the light package, I already showed you the rear. We do have some Vision X pods up top too, that are right there. So these ditch lights, and I try to keep the lighting package minimal this time because last time we had such a wild ass Project X package that we wanted to keep it a lot cleaner. But that's pretty much it, man. We'll give you one more pros and cons. For the portals, we're just gonna clean up, drop her down, and then we'll finalize the video and close you out. All right, so Johnny,
You get portals, I'm gonna install them.
so Johnny Dan's gonna take it off of brake mode, whatever that thing is, brake service mode, so that we get our brakes back and knock that out. But the last pro and con for the portals is, the con is price. $16,000 to $20,000 portals, you know, probably $4,000 to $5,000 in fenders and paint. It just gets really expensive, man. For what you get, I mean, a long travel kit's gonna cost about 10 grand anyways, maybe more depending on what shop package you go with. But it's very expensive. So the con of it, I mean, hopefully there's other companies that start coming out, or even Werewolf themselves starts dropping the price, making it more accessible for people to get, because the angles that it does give your truck are pretty amazing. It starts almost getting flat. It stresses everything out a lot less. The gearing reduction in your tires helps you a ton. MPGs go up. Even with a bigger tire, I'm getting better miles per gallon than I was with a 35 or a 37, which is kind of crazy. And it's one of those things. It's just very, very expensive. So that even though you got portals, there's still a lot of other things you got to do. So with that being said, that is it. The last pro is the stance. I said, hey, it is a negative, but it also is a very solid positive. It looks mad thick going in and out of the road, in and out of anywhere basically. You park next to anything and this thing looks crazy. The flex articulation with the extra drop, it helps a ton. The weight on the portals do help the truck settle a lot better because it is very short. The extra weight from the portals actually helps it. So I've noticed a huge difference. You guys can go check out the couple videos from San Hollow, Big Bear, where this truck is actually wheeling. There's a couple lines that I put it on where before I couldn't do them, or even my Gladiator would have to struggle a little bit, where this just basically grabs and walks up. Obviously wheelbase has a lot to do with that, but that's another thing that the portals do give you. The stance, the gearing, MPGs. I mean, I've said a lot of pros and cons now and giving you guys a breakdown of what everything looks like. If you guys have any questions, hit me up about it, man. I'm willing to answer whatever you guys want and be truthfully honest. The last thing I want to show you too that I have not is what I built back here. So I actually saw somebody do this in the forum, and they actually did it a lot nicer than I did, but I just took kind of their idea and simplified it and made it easy and inexpensive. So there is companies that make this flat panel and it's like 1,200 bucks to just do this. So I bought some pretty nice cabinet wood. This is very flexible, strong, lightweight, and I wrapped or lined it and I put it back here and it flattened everything. So I deleted everything. It's nice and flat now. I can still reach my compressor, which is down here. So you can actually move that and lift it. And then I also build this top layer on top, which is bolted on, reinforced, and that's where my dog sleeps. So now I can fit all my boxes, everything that I need on down here, and then she can sleep up top. And I can still put pillows and stuff up there if I need to, but it helps me simplify the rear, helps it clean, it helps it stay clean, and then she sleeps a lot better, and I don't have to worry about her like really going anywhere. And I did dye this, so I actually stained it, and it came out really good. So I put a little lip too so she wouldn't slide off, and then obviously her blanket and whatnot. But that's pretty much it, man. And then obviously one of these tables, this is actually from a Jeep JL. I just found it somewhere, and we ended up throwing it in there. Recovery gear I use is all from Born. I'm gonna actually create a video of everything that I load into a truck when we take a trip that big. So I'll show you everything that entails. But that's the complete breakdown for the Bronco 2-door. Portals, fun haver, wrapped. I mean, we're here. She is looking good. She needs a wash now from all the work we did today. But shout out to Jesse from Long Beach Performance. If you are in the high desert, reach out to him. Solid guy, thorough with everything he does. And yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of everywhere, a lot of information. If you guys have any questions, hit me up and try to point you the right way. But all right, dude, so my camera died, but we're gonna wrap it up here, man. Thank you guys again. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, all that good stuff. Go listen to the Gatekeepers podcast if you haven't already. If you have any more questions, hit me up. We'll answer them. There is a sticker program going on now. Go check Instagram for it. We're giving away a few things. Get some cool ass stickers. And that's it, man. We'll see you on the next episode.